So today is the 6th of April 2020 and I am on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, and I have just finished my first day of my second week of online schooling.
It's the 7th of April and I'm feeling fine.
It is the 8th of April 2020 and I am feeling quite bored. I live in Prosper, Texas.
It's the 9th of April 2020. I'm feeling pretty relaxed. I live in Sydney, New South Wales, and I'm in year 10, so I'm 15 turning 16 this year.
Today is the 9th of April 2020 and I'm feeling okay actually.
So it's the 10th of April 2020 and today I'm feeling pretty relaxed, pretty good. I live in Limerick Island, but I'm originally from Australia and I moved here 4 months ago.
It's the 12th of April 2020 and I'm doing pretty good, feeling okay. And I'm from Perth, Australia.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty rough so far. Definitely not my favourite experience. I think a lot of teachers don't quite comprehend that I don't have unlimited time for their class. And on top of all the technical problems that I've been experiencing, it just makes schooling definitely a lot harder than it would usually be if I was physically on campus. But there's nothing you can really do about that. That's just the times nowadays that we live in.
I live in the US and the coronavirus is the worst here. Like, out of every other country in the world, we have, I think, almost 400,000 confirmed cases, which I think is like 300,000 or something like 250,000 more than the country with the second most cases, which I think is Spain. So that's not very good.
We are all in our lockdown, so there's not much to do, but I'm trying to keep positive, keep my head up, because we're all gonna get through this.
I think I had my low point sometime last week because my sleeping schedule was so completely messed up. I was so overwhelmed with schoolwork, and I mean, I would be lying to myself if I said I was doing schoolwork until 4 a.m., but I was definitely up until 4 a.m. and then having to wake up at 8:30 to go to my classes the next day. But now we're on Easter break, so I've been able to catch up on some sleep, and I still have to do a lot of work, but I try and get out and maybe go for a run once or twice a week, just to stay active as much as I can. Yeah.
So I've been in quarantine for 4 weeks now. We've been in lockdown for 2, and our lockdown means that we can't go outside a 2-kilometer radius of our house when like walking or like running. And the only things that are open are supermarkets and pharmacies, and they're the only places that we can drive. So we can't be driving to other people's houses because we also have social distancing rule where you have to be like 2 meters away from everyone at a time.
Personally, I haven't been affected by corona all that much, except for the fact that uni is now online on Zoom and I don't have to drive anywhere, so that's pretty good, saving myself some fuel costs. But I don't get to see my friends as much, so that's a bit sad.
Anyways, I've picked up a few habits and hobbies since quarantine has started. I do a lot of baking, which is pretty groovy. I've made a lot of cakes.
The coronavirus has impacted my life kind of weirdly, I guess. I mean, it's done like the same thing to everyone that it's done to me. My school has gone online for the rest of the school year, so that'll be until, well, it would have been until June 15th, but the school year is like 10 days shorter now because of the coronavirus, so it's going until June 5th now. The school board made that decision like a couple of weeks ago, I think, and yeah, we start like learning new material at the beginning of quarter 4, which is going to be next Monday, so that's the 11th, I think, April the 11th, or maybe the 12th. Yeah.
Our school's put up an online learning system, which has actually been really good, and I've been quite productive learning from home because I feel like I don't have all these distractions around me, which has been kind of cool.
So as for online school, at the moment I'm on holidays, so if coronavirus hadn't shut down our whole country, then I would be on school holidays, so I wouldn't have any work anyway. However, even if we weren't in holidays and we were still in quarantine and lockdown, I still wouldn't have that much schoolwork because over in Ireland we have year 10 equivalent. The year is called transition year. And we don't have any tests and assignments, so that cancelled out all that work. And a lot of the work, we don't really get a lot of work assigned online. We haven't in the past 4 weeks. So I haven't been stressed about like work or anything. So yeah, it's pretty good.
I see a lot of people outside just going for walks. They all have their masks on, or their children have the masks on. And also I see police fining some people for like running in Kailua Beach Park. They get fined a lot of money, and it's just crazy to think about what it's come to. And police also on the beach, like riding on their four-wheel buggy things, like telling people to stop sunbaking and fining them and things like that. It's kind of scary, I guess.
I've picked up some new hobbies. I've learned how to play guitar and I've learned how to cook.
So our lockdown is meant to be ending on Sunday. It's Friday today. It's meant to be ending on Sunday. But we got told today that the government's having a meeting about extending our lockdown because there's like no improvement, I guess. They're also having a meeting about cancelling exams, end of year exams. So for us, they're called Leaving Cert and Junior Cert, and they're for third years and sixth years, which is year 9s and year 12s. So they might be cancelled, which is pretty big because for 6 years or year 12s, that's kind of what gets you into university or college.
The coronavirus just basically made me have to stay home from school. I'm also missing my track season, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't seem like very significant, but it's important to me.
I mean, everyone's told to stay inside, and you have to stay inside, and you have to respect that because that's really the best way to keep the virus contained.
Along with the lockdown ending, I'm also meant to be going back to school in a week. If the lockdown gets extended, then I probably won't be going back to school, and after April, I only have about a bit less than a month left of school. So at the moment, we can't see ourselves going back to school until the next year. So September is when our school year starts.
Not being able to go out to Bondi Beach or go to the shops, I mean, it's something very new to a lot of us. But, you know, we're all coping. We're all getting through it. You know, FaceTime, Zoom, Netflix party, they've all been essentials for keeping up with people. And, you know, it is difficult, and it's not what we're used to.
I don't really have any like major concerns. Obviously, I'm like a teenager and I'm a girl and I'm fairly healthy, so hopefully if I do end up getting it, it's not going to be that big of a deal for me. And like my grandparents, who are likely to be affected, live on a really remote island, so in Alaska, so they'd be fine. And most of my family is really healthy, so I think that if anyone does get it in my family, we'd all be pretty fine, except for my grandparents, but they probably won't get it.
So for today, it's kind of been a normal day, except for the fact that today, the 10th, I was meant to be on a plane going home back to Australia for a holiday for 2 weeks. This is upsetting because I can't go see my friends now, and I'll probably have to wait another 8 months to do so because our holidays don't cross over that much. So yeah, it's kind of sad to think that I was going to be there in 2 days, back in Australia in 2 days, but because of Corona, I'm not.
But especially since we're in year 10, and this was the year that, you know, a lot of us were going to get our licenses. You know, we were going to go out to parties and meet up with friends. Just all of it most likely being cancelled or not happening was a huge shock to a lot of us.
This whole thing is a major change because we're not used to having to stay inside and having to do our school online, and not being able to just go out and like have fun with your friends and stuff like that. It's a major change. And since I just moved here, you know, like I just made friends and now I can't even like see them or hang out with them. I just have to stay in my house all day. So yeah, it gets pretty boring, but
I mean, the US is the worst country in the world right now for cases of coronavirus. It's absolutely terrible. And although Hawaii is separate from the mainland, you know, you see the effects every day. Like, your friends have family on the mainland who are really affected, and I know someone that has coronavirus.
I have a routine now of what I do every day. So I have a routine for school, and now I have a routine for lockdown.
It is an experience, and it's quite a scary one, but you know, I've been trying definitely to look on the bright side of things and to do as much as possible at home and to stay fit and, you know, enjoy myself while I'm at home.
So it's 2 p.m. right now, 2:30 p.m. and I woke up about 2 hours ago because it's holidays and I like to sleep in. So at the moment I haven't done a lot today, except for like talk to my friends. That's usually what I do in the morning. I usually have to FaceTime my friends, even like FaceTime my friends here because I can't see them in person, so I have to FaceTime all my Irish friends and I have to FaceTime all my Australian friends.
Like last weekish, the governor of my state issued Executive Order 55, I think. And basically it said that we're all like have to stay home unless we're going out to like do shopping or like get like essential supplies, or if we're like an essential healthcare worker or like a store clerk, or if we're going out to exercise, we can go out. And then there are a few other like reasons we are allowed to go out. But yeah, basically everyone in my state's supposed to stay home. Yeah.
So there's been 6,500 cases, and I think we're 2 weeks behind Australia. So we got our first case 2 weeks later. I think we have around the same case number. Around the same amount of cases. And we have around 260 deaths, which is way more than Australia. Yeah. It's rising a lot each day. I think we have about 500 to 600 cases a day, which is scary to think because it's a small country. Like, Ireland is such a small country and we're really gaining a lot of cases and deaths per day.
Like today, I got up at about 10:30, which is great. Got to sleep in. I had breakfast on my balcony. I played the guitar a little bit, went on my phone, you know, drew a picture. All in all, it's been pretty relaxing. You know, I've definitely been getting up to stuff. I've definitely been keeping in contact with my friends. But I think, you know, I'm making the most of what it is. And we will get through it eventually.
So as for my overall feeling, most days I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty relaxed and chill because I can kind of do whatever I want, especially being on holidays and not having any work to do. But I mean, I guess in the back of my head, I'm kind of stressed because I'm sure everyone is because of the unknown. Like, none of us know what's going to happen from here and how it's going to end and how long it's going to go on for. So yeah, that's stressful, like not knowing anything, but it'll get easier, I guess.
It's just scary times, I guess. But, you know, it's gonna come to an end eventually, and you can't think negatively about it. It'll just make it seem a lot longer than it is. But, yeah, okay. Bye.
Overall, I obviously don't want anyone that I'm close to get corona. Like, that's a stressful thing. I don't want any of my grandparents or parents or friends and family to get it. But I just want it to be over soon. I want to have a summer. Obviously, I'll still have it, but I want to be able to go out with my friends and stuff like that. So we're hoping that it'll be close to over by then. Sure, everyone is.
Okay, signing off from America.
I do hope we get to go back to school soon, but online school has also been working, and, you know, FaceTime, Zoom, they're all great ways to catch up with people. Netflix party, it's great. Yeah, that's it.
And yeah, overall, everyone just relax. Obviously it's stressful, but it'll get easier, and I just keep telling myself everything happens for a reason.